So hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Crushers Cup. My name is Daks, and joining me today is Mr. Nausicaa himself. So please introduce yourself, Nausicaa. As many have seen, maybe your face familiar to a few viewers coming into this tournament.
Yeah, hello everyone. It's great to be here. Again, yeah, this is Nausicaa. You guys might have known me before as Amplifier, but of course we're in Valorant now, feeling a bit of a change in direction. So we're going for a different name this time around. But yeah, really excited to see the games today. So thank you for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you, my friend. Crushers Cup gonna be an interesting one. Our very ever first partnership with the Valorant PH community, and we have 16 teams today. If I believe so, gonna be dueling for that prize pool. It's gonna be a big one. But hey, how now, Zika, I gotta ask you real quick. How long have you been playing Valorant already?
Okay, so technically, I've probably been playing Valorant since. Okay, I played CBT for around 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 weeks plus however long Valorant's been launched. So probably around a month. Yeah, probably a month.
Yeah, and I've been playing since CBT two, and these teams coming into this one have been valuable members of the community as well as members who are gonna be dueling from CBT now into SEA release. And as we've shown before, our first matchup will be ANBU Gaming versus Pastors Workshop. And if you guys have heard of ANBU before, then that is a team familiar to many in different shooting games such as Overwatch. I believe they also had dabble in CS, also in PUBG, of course, and very familiar names. They were second place, if I remember correctly, in the recent RR Triads tournament. And well, against the side of Pastors Workshop, going to be a team full of the community, and it is going to be a pretty fun endeavor. How long have you heard about ANBU now, Zika? I know you have seen them before in a number of different circuits and different games.
Yeah, I'm actually most familiar with him because of Overwatch. Back when Overwatch was really at the peak of its competitive scene, at least here locally. Anbo was probably one of the first names I've heard, along with a couple of other names like IPT. So Superlux was one of the first names also that I'd heard of back in Overwatch. So definitely a familiar team. I forgot what other FPSs I've seen, but like you said, they've been around for kind of quite some time. Yeah, so we should. It's exciting to see people coming from different FPSs, joining and making teams to play Valorant.
That's so true. And people say that it's kind of like a Frankenstein of different games here and there. And well,
Mm,
you have people from Overwatch, you have people CS, people from R6, people from any kind of game, even League of Legends out of nowhere. But
yeah.
it's just a familiar face. It's just some really standard gameplay, and I can't really wait to get into the action in just a bit. But as we said before, it's these 16 teams. Any familiar names to you coming into the Crushers Cup? Is there no, it's Nausicaa. I really am. I really am. It's like you're so famous with that other name. It's like, it's hard.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll get the hang of it. We got some weeks as Valorant just launched, so we're gonna get used to it eventually. Even I'm not used to it, but like honestly, looking at the teams, there are some familiar names, but the team names not really all that familiar. Which is why I'm even more excited, honestly, because I have a feeling we're gonna see a lot of in these grassroots tournaments. These are always platforms where we get to see new teams sort of make a name for themselves in esports, and it's especially exciting seeing how Valorant launched and it's been so successful. So I'm really excited to see new names come from these tournaments.
Completely agree. And us having these new names, having these new faces, it will just allow us to have a really great time, to say the least. But it seems like right now we are finally getting ready to go. Past the workshop, gonna be defending first against Anbu on the attack. It is only a best of round in this round one action, and we are gonna be playing on split. And have you seen split before, Mr. Nausicaa? There's a bunch of new changes, especially into the latest patch.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Honestly, all of the maps have a lot of interesting features on them. Split, I think, was definitely one of the most interesting in terms of the patch changes because of the mid. If I am right, that's the
Yep.
mid change. So just much wider, which is honestly great if you're on attack, because back when for those who were playing CBT, oh man, if you guys played Split, that map was a lot different. It looked a lot different in
It
CBT.
was very difficult. It was very defense favored, and now it has been more of a has been more of a even matchup. If you take control
Mm,
of mid as the attacker, you're gonna be able to do so well moving into the sites. But if you do go for the chokes, then the defense can really spam those abilities. And Mr. Nausicaa can amp that mic just a little bit,
all
and we
right.
should be getting ready to mic check 1 2. That's how we do it, guys. But yeah, just look at these teams right now between Pastors Workshop and ANBU. Familiar names to many who've joined the Valorant PH bugs. And I'm just happy to be bringing you guys the action, bringing you guys the gameplay, and the teams right now selecting their agents, and we are just looking to see what kind of comps they're going to be running. Wouldn't be surprised though to see lots of the Reyna coming into this tournament, very popular new agent, as well as that very strong Leer ability. Any other agent picks you think Nausicaa might be in the cards besides, of course, that standard Sage?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm also expecting to see a lot of Reyna. It seems like Reyna's a
Choose your
pretty
agent.
polarizing agent. There are half of the time I'm hearing people say, she's absolutely busted, that Flash is crazy, and the other half of the time, maybe on the higher elos, people are saying she's not really that great. She's kind of trash, high risk, high reward. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how our local players use Reyna, and I'm also probably expecting to see, our usual standard higher tier agents. Agents like Cypher, like Brimstone, like Breach, who just really bring a lot of utility. So let's see.
Yeah, and you guys are coming on in here. We are at facebook.com/Khrusher right here, right now, guys. And, Khrusher gonna be sponsoring this whole tournament. We are streaming on this page, making it a great time. So for all you Khrusher fans out there, thank you for supporting him as much as possible. And without him, this tournament wouldn't be a reality. But now it seems like we are just loading on into Split. We're just making sure everything is going to be fine and dandy between our two players, between our two teams. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunch of Cypher actually for both sides. Cypher, a pretty popular pick, especially holding on to B. Solo Cypher with the white hat and all. He's just like, yeah, I'm a secret agent. I'm fine here. I can do whatever the hell I want and more. And yeah, we are just waiting on right now for the game to just give us into the action. In Valorant, you have a new spazzy loading screen. Actually, it shows you the sites, it shows you everything else. And hopefully, we don't have any connection issues coming into this one, because that will be very tragic if we do have to fix that one up. Guys, I've heard about a bunch of routing issues. Have you seen that in action, Nausicaa? Like for the Philippine
Routing issues, I'm
yeah.
not so sure though. Definitely, in the number of games I've played, I've definitely had a couple of friends who've had a couple of issues of their own, whether it was maybe packet loss or some even crashing halfway through the game. They're not so frequent, but it does happen every now and then, which is really unfortunate.
And hey, it seems like we are finally good and ready to go to get into the action. Fastest Workshop gonna be on that defense and who on the attack. And this is only best of one. Whoever takes this will move on to the second round. We are gonna have 2 matches to broadcast today, and let's get into Split.
This goes here.
So welcome, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, to Khrusher's Cup. My name is Daks. Nausicaa here as well, and hey, we are gonna be bringing the action. Seems like though our predictions have been confirmed. We got Reynas on both sides, and there you go with the Sages as well. What do you think though of these comps?
Yeah, the comps look interesting. Of course, the Cypher on it's always great for defense to have the Cypher. We see him, like you said, with the solo B, just setting the traps down. So interesting because he's actually alone here as the attacking team is approaching B. So let's see if they're able to fend this one off.
That's gonna be a real question right there. And in the meantime, there we go with a quick little tremor with that fault line. Here comes though with that Leer. Just a beautiful push coming in from Tony Banks. There we go though with the Cypher Tripwire. Jelly gonna be holding the line. 2-for-1 trade so far. Heaven here is gonna be an approach for Cyan. And seems like this B tower defense looking pretty good so far to allow the side of Fastest Workshop to have a little bit of the advantage coming into this one.
Yeah, a bit of a numbers advantage for defense here. Let's see if they can retake the site.
A few shots here and there. Jado gonna get that takedown faster in the meantime with the trade. Super Lux showing up, and he will find 1 kill with that breach, but it's gonna be a 2 versus 1 scenario wherein Enrique Malakas and Pastor do come on out. So good start there for the defense. It seems like the Omen, the Sova, Cypher, Sage, Reyna defense working out here for Fastest Workshop, and double intel gonna allow them a lot of know-how to come into each map, defend both A side and B side, and do the best they can with the information in hand.
Yeah, great retake there actually. You know, even though the Cypher went down kind of early, I think he did his job. He was able to delay for a little bit. So even if the bomb was planted, you know, they were able to just slowly go back in, and good synergy from the team retaking the site. You know, it didn't look like they were rushing. They all came in at the same time, double swinging, things like that. So good job from them.
Just beautiful push coming on in and getting each and every angle. I love that how Cyan did stay up on that heaven, didn't want to overcommit before anything else, but here comes an A push instead from side of ANBU. They are down, but they are going to be going for the triple frenzy rush with a ghost in hand. Shied up already with the first tag onto Mike EXT. Faster going to be staying on that high ground right now. We'll see if he's going to be anyhow effective. Cyan moving on over. We got Enrique Malacas throwing down that paranoia. The spike will get planted onto the right hand side. Gonna be good angle though for the defenders up on tower to really get the angle onto that spike as Pastor gets one more.
Well done there. Let's see if they can go back for the retake this time around. Oh, okay. Couple of kills here. 2 versus 2 situation here for both teams. Let's see if you can approach the bomb in time. Couple of seconds. Nice.
Yeah, Kaja gonna be able to get that take on. Enrique Malacas stays on the high ground, and just see the crossfire there from the defensive side. They were trying to do something on the screen's end, but it's now Pastor all alone. And since the defense here didn't really commit on their round 2, they didn't go for their own buys. They are basically playing a second pistol round, and it is gonna be pretty even right here, right now. But Kaja with that final blow, and that is gonna be the Omen trying to get on away, but will get caught in the explosion. But that is very, very surprising. Team ANBU winning that second round after losing the first, punishing the economy there from the defense.
Yeah, great job there, Kaja, honestly, towards the last few seconds of that round showing up, so he was able to help them clean up there towards the end. Let's see what decisions they make this time around. Still expecting Cypher to stay B, and I think that the team did respond pretty well to A for the first part at least, but eventually, you know, like I said, Kaja was able to, you know, clean things up at the end of that round.
Yeah, highly unfortunate but right here, right now. Oh, it's shined up already with a very, very operator. Round 3, no money in the back, no barrier orb. So this Sage is going to be playing kind of a DPS role here. Usually you expect your Sage to get those barriers to allow you guys to wall people off from their side takes. But if Shidope is going to be saving that 400 every single round, he's going to have the operator in full armor to spare. So ANBU playing it very riskily. And it seems like it's working so far with the entry frag in the middle.
Yeah, so what kind of approach they go for here with one person missing. It's an immediate 4v5. There still is a minute. Seems like they're gonna go heaven to B.
Big difference coming into this one, but oh, RJ even catching out Cyan immediately. Double crossfire there. Superlocks even getting on the board, and this B take looking pretty good so far. Mike AC still gonna get caught in the middle. We got Pastor right now on the north side of the tower. But high ground right now for Pastor's Workshop, and it feels like it's a disengage in order. They aren't going to be able to do this 5v2 properly without that Reina Empress, and he is so far away right here. Going to be looking to save those guns instead.
Yeah, not much utility left either on their side, so looks like they may just opt to save or maybe go for, you know, some exit frags before the round ends. But looking at the approach of ANBU there, again, this was another clean round from them. They all, again, were synced. I really like that up there from the Sage, you know, just to make things an easy 4v5 for them. And I think that that's gonna maybe shake things up for the defense there. They might be playing a bit more defensively as we approach the next few rounds.
Ooh, but Baxter gonna get 2 exit frags there, cleaning up Kaja as well as Super Locks. Easy tidings there. The Sova not even getting tagged whatsoever. And everyone else gonna be saying, oh, you know, we're the attacking side, we're gonna pretend we're on the defense. They're gonna be hiding by the clothing store instead. But at the very least, Pastor's Workshop trying to even up the odds just a little bit, but the money's still on the side of Team ANBU. And with the operator still in the hands of Shidope, I will be very, very scared for the defense into the coming rounds.
Yeah, very true. You know, they're gonna wanna make good use of Omen's smokes here, especially since he's the only agent on their side who has the smokes. I guess this is the one of the things you face as an issue in some comps is when you don't really have a lot of controllers on your team. The operators just have a wonderful time, you know, looking through and peeking through those long angles without any smokes to interrupt them.
Exactly, and you know, all about the drone play right now from our Sova. Mike Ixido popping that Leer. He wants to go for the jewel here in the middle, and that's what the barrier orb also helps out to Cyan. He stays on that higher ground. But for any team that knows all these antics, it's very, very easy to just hop in and out of that wall state, especially the staircase allowing you to get on one top to begin with. But side up already, first frag catches out Mike EXT. Middle is clear again here for Team ANBU.
Second time around, like I said, you know, it's it's really something that some players don't really expect, especially with that wall down now. They were expecting that play from Cyan, like you said, up on the wall, so that gave Shadow a bit of some ground and some opening to find an angle there at mid. Let's see what approach, though, they go for this time. It's still a 4v4, so still some hope here for the defense.
Feels like though there's a little desync there from Team ANBU there. Omen deciding to push through the middle, everyone else looking to go for Market instead. And in the 1v1 scenario, that is going to be Cyan pretty happy with that stage. But Pastor now swinging on, doesn't get the proper reticles placement there. Was looking over a little too far to the right, I believe. And highly unfortunate, through the repel they come. Here comes Enrique Malacaso. They'll go in for a few shots here and there on that Spectre. And oh, Tony Banks using that range advantage, catching out Cyan. 4 versus 2 right now. RJ even on the board, and it's Jelly versus the world. Can he actually clutch it if he finds the angle? No, caught out by RJ. And Team ANBU with pretty quick execute on A side. As soon as you know they figure out their whole plan, it feels like ANBU is just so good at executing. We've seen it twice already on B, and we've seen it here on A.
Yeah, it was a nice try from defense there, but like you said, you know, especially when during the first few moments of the round, even when ANBU is stopped in their tracks, maybe at mid or at B, which is where they've usually been approaching so far, you know, they take their time and they are all in sync when they're rerouting to another site. So maybe a couple of missteps here and there, but in the end, they still get the site. So good job from them so far.
Yeah, and here we go, though, looking to be a Market play as the defensive fastest workshop is going to go for the Econ Rush, and Jelly going to go down already. Fire Squad is going to go to Pastor, going to be the only survivor who gets one, but RJ with the Vandal there, just going for the executes. At the very least, though, fastest workshop getting a pretty good economy right now. 4-1 our scoreline, though, for Team ANBU, and the fastest workshop doesn't do anything about this. They are going to be working pretty quickly into the sweatshop instead.
Yeah, that was pure annihilation there. On the side of ANBU, actually couldn't even keep up with what was going on there, but this is definitely a huge momentum for ANBU's side right now, and I think, you know, Pastor is gonna have to, or rather defense is gonna have to mix things up if they don't want this to spiral out of control.
Exactly. They did go for the econ there to allow Cyan to get this operator in the middle, but look at the smoke play already from Team ANBU. Orbital Strike also catching out on Mike EXT, and he hasn't really been having a pretty good game here. He's been struggling to hold the mid, that's why Cyan and Mike did swap those sides in terms of the mid defense. But with the Orbital Strike there hurting the Reyna, it might be time for Lux to get the push on. He already got one, actually catching out Pastor there. In the meantime, there we go with the Momi on the other side. Cyan, though, catching out Tony Banks, looking for a second, sees RJ, and will get that takedown. That's huge.
That's definitely huge. You know, he's making a statement there. He's saying, you're not the only Sage who can find a couple of snipes here at mid. And he finds his own answer to the play of the enemy Sage there. This is definitely going to stop ANBU in their tracks for a bit. Let's see what kind of approach they decide to go for. All the traps, actually, all the utility of Cypher is still at B, but it looks like they're going to try and make an attempt there.
And there we go with the Rolling Thunder. Jelly gonna get caught out in the open. Goes for the camera play. Double resurrections earlier on. And here we go with the Cypher Cage gonna be into play from the inside. RJ gonna be able to realize where the opponent is and will be able to get that takedown. And in the meantime, though, rotation still in order. 4v4. Can Enrique Malacas actually see anyone here? Decides to go for TP play, though, on the inside of ANBU. And Kaja can get the backstab just in case. As Shido catching out that operator.
Let's see if this flank works out. Nice, he gets one actually as he moves toward the B side here, maybe trying to clean up. I don't think that ult was able to get anyone. 2 kills now for Kaja, and he's cleaning up one person left here. Enrique, can he do it? Oh.
Nope. Not gonna happen there. And, you know, Nausicaa, it really just goes to show when you use that into the shadows and your backs aren't gonna get watched, it really is just a perfect backstab right there. Even catching up Pastor, channeling that Hunter's Fury, telegraphed that position, and, you know, it was pretty simple there for 1, 2, 3 from the Omen. And we right now 5-1, and this might be a quick one if Fastest Workshop can't figure things out.
Yeah, that was a great flank from the Omen, like you said. Definitely gonna have to make comms, I think, are probably going to be the most important thing there. When you hear the Omen use the ult there, everyone's going to have to watch all possible angles, make sure they're kind of not pincered into a bad position. But let's see how this round goes. Maybe defense can even things up.
Yeah, and look at that. Jelly going to be taking the middle instead. 3-1-1 defense going to be a lot different. But there's still a lot of tools there on B side going to be helping out Cyan on that defense courtesy of Jelly. But right here, right now, Super Lost trying to go for Concuss. It seems like the duel might be between the Sova and the Sage on A. And whoever decides to peek against Jelly here in the middle. Oh, Zion actually killing one on B side. That Omen decided to go for the push there. Easy tidings, but for now, Jelly gonna get caught out by Super Locks. Middle controlled by ANBU again.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this round's gonna pan out now that Kaja isn't here, especially since he's usually one of those who are left alive to clean up the round. Let's see how the rest of the members move without him as they slowly approach A.
Rotated over to the right-hand side. We get faster though. Gonna be hiding by the cover, and this angle here on A main might not be the worst for him if he does get drop on and gets a quicker flick. We've seen him try to do it before here, and will this work this time? That's gonna be a real question. Space is gonna be in his favor. No, never mind. Super Lux and 3 more, and the 2 more rather deciding to go for the firing range there instead. Enrique Malakas gonna get flashed on over. It's an A take already here for Team ANBU, and popping that Empress. Tony Banks is looking pretty much in charge of this upcoming round.
Yeah, really high risk, high reward position for Sova to be there. And it's unlucky that there were 3 people peeking him. Nice headshot though.
Stuff. My EXT
Ooh.
taking control of ramps, and that's 2v1. But the Empress there from Tony Banks giving him that invisibility, moving on around. Wants to go for the engage right here, right now. There we go with the leader though, but it doesn't matter. Tony Banks will get that kill. And when you are popping that Empress, ladies and gentlemen, you turn into an invisible state. You can move around the map without being seen. And surprise, surprise, that's Tony saying, I am gonna be your new queen now.
Oh my god. So that was a really intense round, and for a second there, I thought that defense was gonna clutch it. But again, like you said, activating that Empress there, giving him the edge in that duel, and that was, I want to say that gives defense, a sliver of hope, especially when Kaja's not around to clean things up toward the end of the round. It makes things a bit more even for the team. Let's see how they can make things work this time.
I completely agree. And in the meantime, again, past this workshop, forced to play Econ. It is already round number 8. And they are running out of rounds here on the defense. Even though Split has been changed to be more, even in a way, I'd still say that Split can be defense-sided in a way, as long as you hold the middle as much as possible. And that's kind of where Pastor's Workshop falls apart. It feels like even if Cyan has the operator, it's still not enough. It feels like just when you're going for peaks, it's just not enough. And Mike EXT has to do a little more right now. He has the Bucky. Spaster though on the board with 7 kills there past his workshop, but RJ with 10 really goes to show Team ANBU dominating the whole matchup right now.
Yeah, maybe it's a case of just the players, some of the players really standing out mechanically. That definitely could be a thing, especially during grassroots tournaments like this. Oop, good flash here.
ANBU's doing everything they can and more, taking control of every little bit. Enrique Malakas though gonna be teleporting onto the garage side. Only has that snazzy looking ghost right there, but overall it feels like using that into the shadows right now in a scenario like this not really the best. Using an ultimate on an econ round has to hurt your ult economy. And in a game like Valorant, as Enrique Malakas already goes down, it feels like there's 2 kinds of econs here. Nausicaa as Tony Banks with that final blow. There's like the econ of the money with your guns, and there's also that econ with the ultimates. And right now, past his workshop, using one resource they didn't need to in that last round.
Yeah, they're really gonna need everything they can to get through these rounds, especially as we approach round 9 here. Like you said, they're kind of running out of rounds to make a comeback here. Although, we've seen it happen. We've seen times where sometimes you'll enter a game, your team is down 10-1, and all of a sudden, you're able to make it back. Let's hope that's the case here for Pastor's Workshop.
Yeah, it's all going to be about that comeback potential. And Pastor's Workshop right now with the Empress as well as that neural theft. But Mike EXT has to really play the duelist to his name and see how far he can go with those frags. Operator though in the hands of Jelly. Sniper going to be very, very effective here. I feel like for Shidope, I haven't really seen him fall in a while, and he has that operator again. Kaja even catching out Cyan, overcommitting his push earlier on.
Yeah, we saw Kaja get a pick there over at B, so we're seeing Cypher gonna have to return to B side to even things out and make sure they've got all angles covered. Big approach here at mid from ANBU. Let's see if... Oh, okay, there's the up. Shidope doing the work once again, and now it's down to a 3v5.
He's not shy at all here, Nausicaa, and it really feels like for Jelly, he has to be staying on that low ground right now, but gets the wallbang on! Beautiful shot onto Tony Banks, even catching out Super Locks. It might be a firing range here and now, but Shidope says, no, never mind, it's not gonna pan out. There we go, though, with the trip bar getting triggered, but overall, Team ANBU already in position for B side. Something they did give up, though, has to be that tower defense, and we'll see if Enrique Malakas and Pastor can use the high ground advantage to their favor. Oh, that's the Brimstone getting caught there.
Ooh, okay. Nice, 2v2.
It's backside we
time
go.
here.
Yes, exactly. But oh no, Kaja catching out Enrique, trying to channel that ultimates, trying to channel those abilities rather. Look for a little bit of the blind, a little bit of that smoke, but Pastor in the meantime on that high ground. And 2v1 still winnable, and I feel like for Pastor's Workshop, they need to go for a few hero plays here and there, but dropping down in the face of that stage is not how you do it! 3 kills there for Shidope after a beautiful operator engagement from both sides. At the end though, Team ANBU, 8-1 right now, they are just in complete control of this game.
Such a good effort from Jelly there with the op, again showing Shidope that, he's not the only one who can make the plays with the op here. And I thought that might have been, a way back for them. It would have been a game-changing and momentum swinging around for them if they were able to get that. But, Shidope, again, was just waiting there for the Sova to end the round. So, unfortunate there. Let's see if we can make some last-ditch efforts here as we slowly change sides from both teams.
Yeah, still though, it's round number 10. ANBU can still run away with it and more. Now, it feels like though here, Nausicaa, that the momentum really shifted on that round number 2. We had a round 1 victory for Pastor's Workshop, but they didn't go for the buys. And in higher leagues of play, you usually want to do that, especially for having that armor advantage, using the defense and the nature of the corners of the map, especially like splits, to your advantage. You don't want to be down in guns on round number 3. But if you are going to be playing an pseudo-even pistol round, I really feel like you have to execute a little better. And as soon as ANBU won that through grit, that was just the ANBU show starting off strong.
Yeah, very, very true. Sometimes, it's easy to say that it's easy to just even things out and, just go for an eco and then make it back later. But, the thing about esports is that a lot of it is very, mental. The challenge is usually on, how well everyone can carry themselves mentally throughout the game. And it looks like that's all on ANBU right now. They're so confident moving around. They're just so in sync.
And there you go, Jelly though, gonna be in position. Shidope in the meantime already catching out too, looking for a target here and there. Mikey, you can see hiding inside the dark cover. Enrique Malakas wants to go for a push on that Spectre. And maybe a little bit of smoke play to just dissuade that vision. Can the Rafters here be a good spot for our Reina player? Apparently it's a 1-for-1 trade, but Shidope again just looking not unstoppable. And that's Pastor all alone. He has a Spectre. It seems like for Pastor's Workshop they have run out of tools and they are really in a bad econ state. In the meantime, ANBU, look at that Shidope with 12 kills, 8,100 money. He can buy an operator for everyone. He's gonna be fine and dandy, more or less just like Oprah. And there you go, make that a quad. 9-1. ANBU is showing why the elite gaming tag really is under them. And as we said before about Team ANBU, a rich history, a very, very strong clan, all the way dating back to the early parts of esports, before Discord, before anything, and then just having some solid debuts in the number of games. I forgot what game it was. It was not CS. It was the one of those CS clones where they were really, really dominant. Was it like Mercenaries Online or something? And then they started moving into everything else. As we said, we've seen it in Overwatch, we've seen that in PUBG do a lot as well. And shooting games really are kind of their style, and ANBU executing through a lot of mechanical skill and very, very quick execution. Their tactics are pretty simple, but they do it so quickly that you just can't really blink or you miss it.
Off your feet!
Yeah, experience is really showing here from ANBU. I know that a lot of people technically are considered new players of this game, but in general, this is a very familiar genre, especially for those teams like ANBU who've been playing FPS for years. So I think that's showing. And here we go, approaching B once again.
Oh no though, but that was just such a good crossfire there, and in the end it's Sign getting 3 in a pretty simple line. ANBU getting slowed up, and as we said before, the executes are very, very decisive, but it's kind of predictable in terms of that movement. And if you do get the intercept with something like the slow orb, they're just lined up so easily, and they Science like, thank you very much, I'm gonna change my name to the color of red instead, because all the blood of their opponents on B's side, and now it's 4v2. Pastor's Workshop at least finally getting a little bit of momentum, and Pastor even catching on one by the market side. Gonna go for the brawl here against the Breeze. Super Lock still looking super good, and he will survive.
Alright, let's see how they clean this up. It's usually during these moments that you either find the round cleanly or you throw it because you're all peeking one by one. Let's see if they can find the breach here.
You're supposed to go as one. Instead, we're gonna go one by one, and Superlocks will have a good chance at this. He's had a pretty rich history of playing professionally, but right now he's gonna be looking for the push against the Omen. And oh no, Enrique Malakas not looking too strong. They're gonna be forced to retreat. Operator though in his hands, going for the sneaky little peek there from Superlocks. He has 5 seconds to execute onto this, and he will be able to plant this spike. Oh my god, Superlocks.
Oh my god. Superlocks with the clutch point, 85 seconds there. And he's finding a couple of shots here onto Jelly as well. 2v1.
Oh, Mikey C
Ooh, okay.
finally gets it. But that was really decisive there from Superlux. Very commendable. That was a round that ANBU shouldn't have gotten all those kills and the spike plant. But in the end, you know, Pastor's Workshop with a proper setup there from Cyan. It feels like though it's a little too late, and this has to hurt Pastor Workshop. They were up 4 versus 2, 4 versus 1, and they still lost members. Lost the spike, gonna get planted there, and the operator, I believe, was lost on the side of Enrique Malaca. So yeah, that hurts them. And again, Pastor's Workshop. That's the last round before the sides do swap, so it doesn't really matter. But just in that money state, it really feels like the longer that Pastor's Workshop struggles against ANBU, they are gonna be struggling in getting those guns as well.
We win. We survive.
Yeah, very true. Enrique Malajas, I think, only had a Spectre as we changed the side, so this is definitely going to be putting him at a handicap since everyone else on Anbu is pretty much stacked. There is another snipe there from Shido. This guy's just unstoppable right now as they approach mid once again.
He has been so strong on that operator. As soon as he gets that pixel peek, that is going to be enough for him to get that takedown. Down though in defense, we do have the Sova of Pastor looking to go for the peek, but Seal Team 6 gonna get caught out this one. It seems like the Terror's gonna win there. Tony Baks though in the meantime getting a trade back. Superlux though still looking super good. Handsome man right there, and there we go with it into the shadows. Moving over to A side. Seems like for Team ANBU, they have complete control of this map. Just a lot of know-how playing, maybe a history on the CBT. And you know, for Superlux, just want to quickly reiterate, he plays. He's had the professional clear in PUBG as well as Overwatch, and there you go, Shied Up instead getting 2. But you know what's funny though? Superlux tanking those bullets for Shied Up. He has 22 HP. Reminds me of his old role in Overwatch as a main tank. But in the end though, victory goes over to Team ANBU, and they are now 3 away as they are going to be on the defense this time.
Yeah, that was just what a crazy. It's just been crazy to watch Anbu go for this attack, you know, these past few rounds. I'm interested to see what Pastor's Workshop's approach is going to be, because so far it seems like Anbu's been going for a very heavy mid to B kind of approach. So they get control of mid, and then that's when they decide to go either for A or for B, usually B so far. And without a Cypher on Pastor's Workshop, could be, or rather, without a Cypher on Anbu, it could be a bit of a different approach here from their side.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be more on holding and with CC. And look, that Superlux is already on B. Now, I believe we have gotten confirmation that whoever wins this will be facing off against Team EXE in round number 2. We've also gotten some victories already. AKG taking down Vixens, 5 versus GT, and 5 taking that one. A rematch from the Close Bay Closeout in the Violent PH community. But there we go with the fault line. That makes a big difference, especially on the B garage. Superlux can make it the 1v1, even though everyone else is in the garage side. And there you go, ANBU using the odds and stacking them against the opponent instead of the other way.
Very nice stun there from Superlux, you know, really just catching them and keeping them there in that narrow entrance toward B main. Now let's see if Pastor's Workshop will be able to do anything. Slowly losing a couple of members here.
Yeah, Paranoid from Enrique Malakas gonna give him the advantage in that 1v1. In the meantime, Jelly! Hello, Mr. Shy Dope. You have a knife out, and I will say thank you very much for the free kill. It seems like though with Jelly's push onto A, he's able to control the A side, and Cyan is gonna be happy to go for that free plant. But here on the screen side, rotation from the Sage might be the one that catches out these rotating members from ANBU, but Jelly might also get caught out on tower. We'll see though who will get the edge on who first. There you go, never mind that. We already confirmed it's 2 versus 2 though. Jelly and Tony Baks with some trades.
Alright, they're gonna be coming in through heaven. Let's see if Cyan can make something work here.
Yeah,
A couple of beeps left for them before it's too late.
RJ, Tony Baks looking around, trying to see the angles, but here comes Cyan, ring around the Rosie. He comes on down, and you know that jumping right click, it's very surprisingly accurate. Can Enrique Malakas still make it in time? Gets the headshot, but doesn't get the kill, and the defense gets the defuse at the last moment. The classic just not backing the best punch of them all, and it's just heartbreaking there for Enrique Malakas because he already had the angle but couldn't get the shot there to connect in time.
Oh man, truly heartbreaking to see that happen, especially with the number of times I've seen it happen in my own games. It's just an intimate feeling that I think a lot of us are familiar with. So really painful to have to watch that. Good effort though, I think, for the team.
My heart dropped, and I just said though, the right click, that's very surprising. So as far from I've tested it, It feels like the right click has shotgun properties over, normal pistol play, and you can actually jump and right click and it'll be accurate to a point. Because in Valorant, you play shotguns, it's like, hey, I'm playing an arcade shooter, I can move around, run around, I'm still gonna be accurate compared to every other gun. But Shido already looking to solve for time. This time, no operator rush here from the Sage. He's actually playing the barrier because they feel like they need it more on the defense. And Kaja and Shido gonna be going for the crossfire, and seems like though the Omen will fall, but Tony Banks gonna be 3 here on tower. And whoa, Team ANBU with the advantage, actually buying guns this time. And on the other side, Pastor's Workshop did go for a little bit of buy as well, because they know they are going to be on match point after this round if they lose it again.
Let's see how Pastor's Workshop goes for this approach. Interesting that they're going for A bit more frequently. Nice pick there from Science. Shido is down, evening things out. It's a 3v3. We still have 40 seconds to plant.
Yeah, exactly. Taking point though for our Reyna. 1-for-1 trade yet again. Overall, though, for Pastor's Workshop, it really has to be a decider here. They went for A because they feel like it's something they were successful earlier on. And they do force the rotation here from ANBU, and now it's going to be clear sightlines for Pastor and Cyan to go over to B side instead. It's just going to be a bait and switch working out for the attacking side. But the real question is, who will get the drop on who? Because it's going to be armor time here and now for the defense. And even the Empress here for Tony Banks. And, just his Empress ability buffing you to the maximum degree. If you get the kill, you are going to be able to snowball from there. Look at the swing on from the left-hand side. Sees the Sova Bastard. No, with a beautiful shot onto Tony Banks as the crouch comes. And Cyan versus locks into this one. That is going to be clutch there from the Sage. They needed that round there, Nausicaa, and they did achieve their goal.
Yeah, so unfortunate for Superlocks looking to the left there rather than to the right where the bomb was planted. So great job there from Cyan 1v1. I felt like that round was probably the most even of a lot of the rounds we were watching. Both of them were both sides were getting picks. Both sides seemed to be in sync. Nice bait and switch as well toward the end. So I'm hoping to see that kind of performance more consistently in these rounds. Last few rounds, I'm not so sure. Maybe they could come back.
Yeah, that's true. And it feels like for ANBU, they're always on a decider in so many ways. For in the meantime, they are going to be playing that econ to try and even things up because they did go for the buys there. And it's again just the same thing, punishing round number 2 has been the case so far. And in terms of the history of this game, it might be the true case here. But I guess it seems like Team ANBU playing CQC really well with those Frenzy. That is going to be Tony Banks getting a trade on over onto the ramp side. Here goes Paranoia though, and Riven Kamalakas is going to get surprised that it's 2 there onto the ramps. And it's a 1-for-1 trade. The defense getting the advantage, even though they didn't have the guns at the very start.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it really is just a factor maybe of the mechanical skill shining through. So even without the guns, even if they're gonna go for those ecos, if the other team isn't careful, it could really be it could be a difference of just one right click from a classic.
1-for-1 trade though, and seems like Cyan versus the world yet again has to deal with the breach and the brimstone. The big burly men gonna be working together, but Superlocks going for the defuse, but not faking it, gonna get caught out by Cyan. It pushes through the smoke instead. Now RJ versus Cyan. It's again Cyan with the clutch. This is the second time from this Sage. Overall, I believe 75% of the victories here for Fastest Workshop was thanks to the Sage play, and Cyan showing that he's truly a star here on the attacking side.
Yeah, it seems like our Sage players from both teams are really just shining in this match right now between ANBU and Pastor's Workshop. So great to see, honestly, representing our Sage mates out there if you're watching. So it's really nice to see, Cyan especially showing up when it matters. Honestly, every round counts for this team right now, and I'm sure that he's contributing a lot in terms of the momentum right now and motivation for their side.
Hell yeah, and he has that 15 kills already for Pastor's Workshop, looking to add up a little more. RJ might have a really tough time here in middle, and it seems like it's going to be Team ANBU giving it up to play the push instead. Shido, look at that. He's actually coming through to the spawn. This leaves RJ to really hold that tower angle, and can he actually stall for time? Beautiful flash though, courtesy of Superlocks. Superlocks can get the trade on over as well. Actually, not the trade, it's just an advantage right here, right now. Enrique Malakas instead does get the kill, but on to the staircase to tower, it might be a stairway to heaven that Team Pastor's Workshop does not want to go on whatsoever.
Such a good angle there from RJ to get those 2 kills right now. It's really gonna keep the attack back, and with this flank from Shido, can he find the pick? Yes, he does. It's only 1 left now from the attacking side.
And Pastor is all alone. He will just get swarmed right here, right now, trying to go for the fight against Tony Bags. But no, that is just going to be a pretty good withdrawal onto your soul. ANBU right now on match point. And I just got to commend Superlux as well as RJ. They are timing that right with their abilities, timing that right with the peak. That flash was absolutely instrumental for that victory there onto the middle side. And that was just a bait and switch. You'd think, split. Okay, we have mid. We can push wherever we want. Surprise, surprise. The breach says, no, you can't see anything. And bullets come to your face instead.
Yeah, you know, it's always great to see players using their utility to really turn things around. I think that's something that, you know, really makes a big difference between a good player and a great player, especially for Valorant. You know, it's not always necessarily about the gunplay, although of course that's really a big factor in this game. I think, you know, the defining factor of a lot of really good players will be how they use their utility.
Oh no, though, that is time for Superlux to try and get everyone off their feet with that Rolling Thunder. CC is into play. They can't really push through that Lear, and Superlux gonna be able to get that 1-for-1 trade. He gets one before he gets felled by Cyan, but Cyan, though, already on the board with a Resurrection Concha. In the meantime, coming on through with that into the shadows, and Jelly turns around instead. Here comes Tony back, so with the push, sees the ponytail there, will get that takedown, and it's now the Omen versus the world. And Enrique Malakas has to prove that he is superior here, has to be the number one coming into this one, goes for the paranoia, shrouded step onto the high ground, and sees the defuse. Goodbye to Shine Dub, but RJ will get that kill, and Team ANBU will take this victory on split. That was so close for Enrique, but again, it just feels like that is the true story of this game. So close, but never enough. Team ANBU moves on to move into a matchup against Exe on round number 2.
Oh my goodness, just... Oh, what a heartbreaking moment there. Another one, I guess, of maybe 2 or 3 heartbreaking moments there for, you know, Pastor's Workshop. Such a good effort there from Enrique Malakas, and we saw, you know, he had it. He just had to land, you know, get a good spray transfer onto RJ. But, you know, RJ has also been showing up along with the rest of his team this whole game. And, you know, ANBU in the end showing, I guess, just superior both rotations and also superior mechanical play, I guess, because so many of their players, you know, Shy Dope as well, just really holding their game really well this time.
Yeah, and just the operator player there from Shy Dope, looking at the specific round on screen, round number 10, getting 4 there. And, you know, just I love the whole stats recap. It really helps out a lot of things to show the strengths of these players. But Team ANBU with the victory. Let's look at that scoreboard one last time. Kudos to Shy Dope taking the top side there as well. A close run up. Really, really commendable effort. But overall, Team ANBU just on the board in a more superior fashion. And, well, they move on to round number 2.
Yeah, congrats to ANBU. You know, like we've said before this match even started, you know, ANBU's definitely had that FPS experience for quite some time, and I think that did show, you know, in this match, even though it is a new game. It's a new game in some ways, but it's also a familiar game in many ways. So great to see ANBU performing this well, and good effort as well from Pastor's Workshop. They definitely, you know, showed signs of life in a couple of rounds, and, you know, like we said, Cyan really saving a couple of rounds as well there. Cyan and Jelly having their moments. So great performance from both teams.
Completely agree. You know, Pastor's Workshop putting up a lot of fights, but ANBU just a lot more dominant. Round 2, a lot of swings actually, even on that second half. Pastor's Workshop getting some momentum, but, you know, overall, it just wasn't enough compared to ANBU and their strength. Just a beautiful execute there. And it really was dicey, honestly. If that was the first half there with Pastor's Workshop on the attack and ANBU on the defense, it might have been more close in terms of the score line. I believe something like 7-5, 6-6, 5-7, something like that. But with ANBU just snowballing on the attack, maybe we're getting proven that Split is more on the attacking side now with all these changes. But, you know, it's all about those stats, all about trying to figure things out. And just quickly looking at some brackets right here, right now, we are almost done with round number 1. Only match going on as a broadcast is Ronin versus Hachi Ramen Esports, and SMS moving on to face off against that winner. Wasp versus Friction, gonna be another matchup we have. Exa versus ANBU coming our way very soon, and it's AKG versus Fives, which is gonna be really interesting. Any teams you're actually interested here, Mr. Nausicaa? Any teams maybe you're familiar with coming into this tournament?
I've definitely heard of Exe as a team prior to today. I can't remember which tournament it was exactly that I saw their name in.
It might be Apex, or I also, you know, one of the tournaments here in Valorant PH. They come from an
could
Apex
have been.
background.
Yeah, but they were definitely another team that's been familiar, and like I said, maybe a couple of players scattered across other teams that I might be a bit familiar with. Generally, I think in terms of the FPS scene, I am very unfamiliar with our local CS scene, but I am pretty familiar with some of the players, especially from Overwatch, which is why ANBU was so familiar to me. So I guess in general, like I said before, even if you're coming into the esports scene of Valorant locally with fresh eyes, I think that that's a big part of the excitement because you get to see these unfamiliar names and unfamiliar teams just kind of make a name for themselves in this new game.
Yeah, it's just a mixture of so many different scenes for me. Seeing these CSR6 names are very new to me. Overwatch, as we have here in Nausicaa. At the same time, I've been handling Overwatch for years now, and
Yeah.
in the Philippines, and it's like it really feels like these communities coming together to form one big one. You got Apex people, you got CS,
Yeah.
R6, Overwatch, League, whoever wants to dabble into FPS, Crossfire, whatever. But it has been a great game so far. Any moments that you might want to highlight just a little more there from ANBU versus Pastor's Workshop?
Yeah, I mean, aside from the very obvious showing up of our Sage players from both sides, I guess it was interesting to see how those two teams interacted, where only one side had the cipher. At first, I was expecting the defense there from Pastor's Workshop to really work well because they had the cipher on their side, but even with the cipher there, it goes to show that if the attacking team is just in sync and really knows how to rotate and work around the utility of the enemy team, they can still make it work. So it's always nice to see that this game isn't necessarily defined by this team's gonna win because they have all the STR agents. It's great to see a mix of a lot of different team compositions working out, and players just really strategizing and making their team comps work. So I'm excited to see what our next teams are gonna come up with in the future matches.
I completely agree. And with that being said, we'll be picking our round number 2 matchup in just a bit, guys. Don't go away. This is the Khrusher Cups, just powered by the Valorant PH community. You can check that out down below in all those links. I'm Daks, and you can check my page at Daks. You got Nausicaa here, as some of you may be familiar with his voice and his face. It's from Amplifier from League of Legends, but he has a new page, a new beginning, perhaps coming into these different games. And thank you guys for all the support. Bracket is also down below to help you guys out understand more on what's going on in this Crushers Cup. And as far as I remember, it's a 10K prize pool, so that's pretty big money coming to our winner, if I do say so myself. We'll get more confirmation on the prize partitions and all that like for tomorrow, but we will still have a round 2 broadcast today, so we will be right back. Stay tuned, stick around. This is the Crushers Cup.